Sorry about that. Had to step away for a minute. Let's get Edward's HomePod finished.
I'm having trouble connecting.
What's next? Mayushi, welcome. Long time no chat. I can't say much, I can't talk very loud. Everybody's trying to sleep, but good to see you again. They're getting there. They're getting there. Well, I guess we won't get to see those volume buttons, huh? They've got all that turned off. It's no big deal. It sounds like it's working wonderfully now. We've now got Jean. Jean has two HomePods actually that both have the same no power issue. So we're going to take a look at both of those tonight. I'll be right back. Grab a drink while I'm gone. What have we got? The usual symptoms for a dead diode. Oh yeah, I don't know if for any of you that caught our live stream repair for Andreas a few days ago, they're the ones that sent their HomePod in from, where was it? Oh man, where are they? Yeah, they're in Cyprus. So Andreas and Cyprus took apart their own HomePod and tried to do their own board repairs, but did a little goof up along the way and ended up sending in their unfinished work to us to fix it up for them. And unfortunately, they forgot to screw the amplifier down, so it got banged up pretty good in transit to us all the way from Cyprus. That board got banged up good. It lost a number of components. And I honestly did not feel like we were going to be able to get it working again. When we concluded that live stream, attempting to fix it after spending, I think, like an hour or so, we went to go test it out, and it unfortunately still didn't work. Turns out, I had forgotten to connect my display cable to my test board. So, I caught that after the stream, and to my major surprise, Andreas's amplifier board booted right up. Works just fine. We got their HomePod put all the way back together. We've got it on the bench testing overnight just to make sure it's free and clear of any issues, but yeah, basically we did get that amplifier board from Andreas fixed. Ooh, kava tea. I would drink a cup of, oh man, no, actually what I would do was, a few years ago, I grew my own mushrooms, and I would grind them up and then stew them in a tea with kava, and I would have this really nice mushroom kava tea. And it's exactly like you said, the kava helps a lot with it. Just kind of calms you down just a little bit. It's not super noticeable. It's not like a drug that you're taking per se, even though kava is, it kind of is. I was really big into mushrooms a few years ago. I had a lot of fun. I would totally do it again. Just don't have the time, and really, I think it's just the time right now. And like the idea of doing that kind of thing around my kid right now, not on my list of priorities. I'm the first who, right, really, okay. Nah, I got a couple boxes of kava tea in my cupboard still from doing that. I don't drink it nearly as much anymore. I really should. Oh, it was really good. Hit the spot. And like I said, it's not like an obvious or intense like feeling that you get drinking it. But it's subtle enough to like kind of take the edge off of a really edgy day. And it doesn't taste bad too. I can't drink like matcha. Makes me want to throw up. Don't get me started on kratom. Ugh. Yuck. Actually, kratom is why I can't tolerate matcha anymore. The two taste fairly similar to me. I took way too much kratom. Well, I bought The first time I did kratom, I took way too much, and it tasted awful. I didn't actually throw any of it up, but it just tasted so bad, and I drank so much of it at once that I was just so sick of the taste afterwards. And what's sad is I used to really enjoy matcha stuff. And then I did that to myself. Completely ruined it. But if I'm not mistaken, we even stock a few boxes of kava tea at my office. Which one was it that I get? The yogi. It was the yogi kava tea. Yeah. Well, I would never condone that kind of thing, but I did do it once. Unfortunately, I am destructively curious. So one day I had taken a couple of grams of mushrooms, mixed it in with the kava tea. I'm a stoner, so I smoked a bunch of weed on top of it, of course. And then, I was drinking alcohol on top of all of that, too. Lucky nothing bad happened. Yeah, get the yogi. I mean, to be fair, it's like the only brand of kava tea that you can usually find in the store anyways. Yep, exactly. It was a one and done kind of thing for me. I was like, I gotta know. I'm curious. Like I said, I'm self-destructively curious. There's a lot of things that I'll do just for no other reason than one time won't hurt. Yeah, it's kind of a dumb reason, but There are exceptions to that rule. I won't touch like cocaine or black tar heroin, any of that hard stuff. Well, I call it hard stuff, but if you want to get into a real discussion about it, I still won't touch any of it. I'll do alcohol, weed, and mushrooms. And even then, alcohol sucks. I only do it because it's the most legal out of the three for whatever reason. I don't know why. I'll be right back. I don't know if we're being too loud or what, but we're gonna be quieter now. Welcome to the chat, Sage. We've got to be really quiet because the baby's asleep and I think we woke her up being too loud earlier. Oh, Sage, I think I found. I think it was you that asked to have a printed invoice in the box with the HomePods on the way back. And I was cleaning my car out and I found, I think that I had it taped to the box, but it must have not stayed on there. If that was you, and you need that invoice still, just let me know and I'll email it to you if that works, or I can actually send you a letter in the mail if you need that too. Either way works. Doesn't matter to me. Just let me know. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Oh yeah, and there's no comparison between the big HomePod and the minis. It's like you would oh man. Like it's fair to say that the HomePod is like around 5 to 7 times better than the HomePod Mini. That doesn't go without saying. The Mini itself is still pretty impressive for what it is. Like it's a damn good speaker. Maybe not retail price the best bang for your buck, but it sounds great still. For the size, it's just impressive. And then you step up to the biggie. And I haven't ever had a chance to listen to a real professional stereo system. The most expensive stereo system I've ever listened to would have been anything that I've personally built for myself throughout my life. Honestly, and even then I haven't spent more than a couple $100 on my own system. Partly because a lot of the parts that I get people just give to me, like my JBL floor standing speakers I got from my boss because he was just throwing them away. I did buy my Yamaha home theater receiver, but I got some other Goodwill speakers in the setup, and so the point is I don't have a lot of exposure to super premium speakers beyond some of the best stuff that you can get your hands on at Goodwill or for free. And honestly, that's going to be the case for most people. So the HomePod, for what it is, I'm not saying I've heard everything and the HomePod's the best. I'm the opposite. I haven't heard much. And it's the best thing I've ever heard for what it is. And that's going to be the case for most people. Most people haven't heard super high-end systems, and most people don't care. They just need something that sounds really, good enough. And a lot of these Bluetooth speakers out there, that's part of the problem, is it's Bluetooth. I'll hate Bluetooth until it's dead. Do I think it was the correct move for Apple to not allow Bluetooth connections to the HomePod? No, they should have absolutely allowed that, so that way people could have the option. But I understand it at the same time, why it's primarily a Wi-Fi speaker, because you want to, Bluetooth isn't going to do what this needs. It ain't gonna cut it. Yeah, you get used to the minis. You do get used to them. And they're acceptable. They're good. They're great. But then you go back to the big boys, and you're just like, oh my god, wow. No, I haven't done Bluetooth for my music since high school. And shit, I gotta take that back. I have AirPods, and those use Bluetooth, and it's good enough. But at the same time, anytime that I'm using those devices, usually peak audio quality isn't the priority, and I'm not going to be able to tell the difference because I'm out in a noisy environment. So it doesn't matter so much. They still sound phenomenal for Bluetooth headphones. But, there's a noticeable difference. Bluetooth just tends to sound a little, I guess, narrower. I don't know. A little more decoded and re-encoded and messed with and all that. Artificial. As good as somebody can make a Bluetooth audio codec, it still tends to not sound natural. Maybe I'm crazy though. Oh yeah, no, I just saw that. Yeah, I'll go ahead and email you the invoice tonight or tomorrow morning. Depends on the level of energy that we'll have after all of these that have been waiting to get fixed. I've actually ditched my home theater setup in favor of nothing other than a bunch of HomePods and a couple of SingCell Alphas. I've got HomePods all over the house. I think I've got one mini in the bathroom. I've pretty much ditched all of my minis. I've brought them all to my cube, my office, my day job. But my living room home theater setup, it's purely HomePods and SingCell Alphas, and that's it. movies, music, anything that I do on the TV, all of it is 24/7 Wi-Fi AirPlay to the HomePods and the SingCell Alphas. And 99 hours out of 100 of those hours that I'm doing this, and everything works perfectly fine. You get the hiccups once in a while, but nothing that a simple restart or basic troubleshooting doesn't fix. Like, for example, this was so stupid. I recently, my HomePods, randomly started crackling, and then my SingCell Alphas started crackling exactly the same way. And I was like, huh. And then right when one of them was doing it, I looked at my phone and the Wi-Fi died. And I was like, alright, I know what it is. I logged in my router and found that the wireless access points, actually, my entire network infrastructure had basically been pushed a new system update that had reset a couple of settings. And my Wi-Fi network was just constantly going up and down and up and down and up and down. You know what was the nail in the coffin for me with Bluetooth audio? I had dropped a couple $100 on some Master and Dynamics Bluetooth headphones. Those suckers were not cheap. And I was so excited to get them, to try them on, to be blown away by this new sound experience that I hadn't heard of before from a premium wireless headphone. And it just wasn't there. It was so boring and... Oh, good night, Nick, or good night, Sage. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. We'll keep in touch. Aloha and mahalo. I want to hear a Devialet Phantom. I really want to hear one of those. Because, there are only 3 audio products that I've ever listened to in my life that have really blown my balls off. When I first heard them, when I first listened to them personally. And the first one was the OG HomePod. I was on a work trip for my day job in another state and in a hotel room with our boss. He had brought his first gen HomePod with him. This is long before I had even owned any of these myself, let alone thought about buying one for myself. But our boss had one of these, and he busted it out on the table in the middle of the hotel room. Started playing music on it. And I was just absolutely blown away by the sound that was coming out of this mysterious device that you couldn't see how it was working, but somehow there was sound just coming from all around it. It was amazing. The amount of sound, the clarity, the depth, all of it was just a single HomePod. It was blowing my mind. Like, yeah, there's stuff bigger and better out there, but that's not the point. The point is, for what it was, you look at it, and then you hear it, and you go, whoa, from that? That was me. That was my first time ever doing anything like that. Hearing the HomePod, the first gen. After that, it would be the AirPod Maxes, the over-ear AirPods. I had spoiled myself for my birthday / Christmas one year with a pair. And they still have that problem with that, like, Bluetooth lack of depth to them, you know, lack of, like, wide stage, but, like, for what they were, I put them on and I wasn't, you know, especially after being disappointed by the master and dynamics, I wasn't expecting a whole lot from the AirPods, even given their price. And it's hard to say whether or not their price is worth it, because I don't have a lot of experience with headphones either, but I put those suckers on, and they just sounded magical. Like, they sounded amazing. I couldn't, like, it's like, what? They're doing this over Bluetooth? How? The third time that I have ever had my balls blown off by an audio product. And I mean, take my opinion for what it is, considering the first two of those was a HomePod and an AirPods, both Apple products. Wow, Nick. Anyways, that third product would have been the SingCell Alpha. When I got my first one in and I got that thing set up, holy shit, dude, the amount of bass that comes from this thing. Like, oh, just all around. You could not believe. It was like the HomePod on steroids times 1,000. I couldn't have comprehended how good the speaker sounded until I heard it in person. It was so good. It was so good I bought 2 more of them. I'm that freaking crazy. No, I didn't pay full retail price for them. I'm not that crazy. But I am crazy. And, god damn, those SingCell Alphas sounded pretty cool. So, like, but they're so expensive. They're so expensive. See, my problem is I want something and I get super obsessed about it. I do nothing but watch every single review that exists about it, like 10 times over and over again on repeat. Like, just to catch everything about it, just to make sure this is what I want, just to make sure that there isn't any, like, deal-breaking problem with it or thing that it doesn't do that I would really need it to do. I think it would have been about a year, maybe even 2 years, almost, before I had bought my first SingCell Alpha, finally. And a major reason for that was I couldn't have afforded one brand new. And I was just waiting for the right opportunity. I knew eventually somebody would want to get rid of theirs for a fraction of the price, sell it used, you know. I'm perfectly fine with used stuff as long as it's either repairable and or in as good of working condition as it was new, with a relatively comparable lifespan. Oh man, You've heard it a million times. Specs aren't always everything. Specs are only half the story. There's the specifications, there's the hardware, and then there's the software that actually uses that hardware. What good is 128,000 gigabytes of RAM if the system's only going to actually be able to use 128 gigabytes of it? On paper, it sounds superior, but in practice, it's not. So that's why you got to be careful with specs. And I mean, obviously, if you're comparing two Windows laptops between each other, then specs tend to come more into play when you're comparing apples to apples. But even then, like, it depends on the manufacturer's driver implementation, even like how good or bad a given, spec that's similar to some other manufacturer's same spec would be. Life is hard. I gotta step away for like about 60 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay. I know. I just couldn't wait 30 more seconds to put this on and show you guys that this worked before I took a break. I'm gonna do it to you. Yeah, that's what matters to me too, more. I want some big bass.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble connecting.
We are as set as spaghetti. Fucking A. I hate making noise because it wakes up the damn kid, and then the kid has to get taken care of, and then we can't fix stuff, and then we get a big backlog. No one's happy. All because Nick couldn't be quiet. I just want to mute switch for my life sometimes. Let's jump into number 2. See you later, Mayushi. Thanks for stopping by. Good catching up a little bit. is Be right back. Four six or 4-8. 4-8. There it is. Why is it so hard to end a task? End task. End the fucking task, yeah, God. I'm about to unplug this PC from the fucking wall. The operation could not be complete. Apparently you just don't even own your own computers anymore. You just have no control over it. What is going on? Okay. Fuck it. We'll just open another one. I'm gonna fucking... What are you supposed to do on Windows if you want to end a process but it won't let you anymore? I can't reboot. We're literally in the middle of a live stream. Do we switch to Linux so we don't have to deal with this ever again? Why is access denied? I own you. You can tell computer problems I do not cooperate with very well. Now my mouse is freaking out. I can't handle all this shit not working at once. How did Microsoft build such a terrible operating system? I'm gonna lose my mind. Now my mouse isn't working. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna try one more time. Our mouse works. Our keyboard works. Is this working? Okay, we're getting somewhere. This is annoying. Open port error. Why? You were just working. Good grief. have to do a fucking seance to get this shit to connect. It's 9 o'clock at night. Children should not be watching. I'm not concerned about it. Oh my god. This is gonna drip. Fuck it. You know what? Take my word for it. This doesn't need filters. There's your offset. 5 millivolts. It works. God, boy. You can only have so much patience for shit breaking around you all the time. Like, yeah, I can fix it myself, but can we please just make one thing work without having to fuck with it to get it to work again? I apologize, but it's just... That's why we're here. Because nobody seems to understand how to make things worth a damn anymore. Oh god, I'm getting old. Like, I have had 0 issues for the past 12 months just plugging my multimeter into my PC and clicking the connect button. And now it's a problem. And like, it wasn't even a problem when we started the stream. It just took a shit out of nowhere. And now we can't get the thing working again. I'm sure when we reboot, it's gonna start working just fine. But it's like my security system for my home. The key fobs that we use to arm and disarm the system, they just randomly stop working. It's like mine and my wife's at the same time. So I know it's not an issue with the key fobs. It's an issue with the frickin' hub. And so I contact the alarm systems support and they're like, oh, try it now, is it working? And yeah, it's working now. And they're like, okay, if it happens again, feel free to reboot your alarm gateway. And it's like, that does not instill any trust in me when I have to reboot my main alarm, my home security system's brain on a monthly basis so that my key fobs stay connected. God knows what else is breaking in the back end. Can we go back to when things were just a little more analog? And like a device was built, a device is built to do one thing, and it does it good, and it does it reliably. Yeah, no one's gonna see this except for maybe the person that I'm fixing this HomePod for. But if you do, maybe leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know you're watching me. And whether you think I'm just crazy or not.
having trouble connecting. I'm having trouble connecting.
Beautiful. Both of Jean's homepods fixed up. We're moving on to Daniel's homepods. Yes, we're just gonna keep going. With our DC offset symptoms, these tend to pop louder than usual when they turn on and off. We'll go ahead and check that out for ourselves. Dan actually sent in 2 homepods. One's got death farts, and one's got no bass at all, I think. Alright, I'd give that like a 6.5, 7 out of 10 on the severity. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get cracking. Why do you do this to yourself? Yeah, I saw that. You can't hide it. Yeah, say hi. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
She's giving me a half. She's trying to hide it. I have this one that I'm halfway done with. I have one more. I would really like to get that one done, and that would be it.
Okay.
And then I'll take you.
I don't know. It's okay.
The clock is ticking now, folks. On the bright side, she's awake, so we don't have to worry about the noise, but it is bedtime for babies. Little babies like a little chow should be asleep right now. They should not be awake. And yet, they are awake. And they're bugging mom. Now mom's gotta stop doing what she was doing and watch her. And that's not really fair, because mom's already spent so much time this week making sure that she's alright. And if we're making it fair, I should be watching her right now. But mom's a champ. We got the best mom in the world. And I don't care what you think, but I don't think it's fair to expect mom to be doing everything all the time, regardless. Of anything. It's hard enough as it is. So we're gonna see what we can do in the next 30-ish minutes here. We won't be able to finish all of them, but we'll get through a fair number. And to be fair, I think we've been streaming for almost 4 hours, at least today alone. So, between that and then having to do my usual day job, we're getting rough on time. And also, like, all of that aside, I want to spend time with that kid. Like, yeah, I can sit here and make all the money that I want in the world, but I I'd rather spend my time with my family. I'd rather not this be a thing in the first. All Apple has to do to put me out of business is recall HomePods, fix the problems, and give people something that's actually gonna work. Instead of telling them it's an out of warranty issue. I get it, guys. Like, Apple spent $250 per HomePod to make them. And they still didn't get it right. They still couldn't. So the last thing they want to do on something that they could barely make any money on is do a recall that's going to turn that around and turn the entire thing into nothing but just a negative profit. Whatever. You don't gotta hear. You don't tune into me to hear it. If you wanted to hear stuff like that, you could go to Louis Rossman. So that's gonna fix the death farts and DC offset poppy crackly goodness. But while we're in here, we notice that we do have that diode that normally fails and causes no power. 1748K on it. So we're gonna get that replaced. It needs to. It works fine now, but it's not gonna keep working fine. Had to get that out, sorry. Been holding it in since that kid laid down for sleep. luckily, this one was caught in time. That its bass speaker is still good. As for the next one from Daniel, that has no bass. Now, I'm hoping it's a random amplifier issue and not a blown bass speaker from the same problem as this one. That was just too far gone and did the damage to the subwoofer. But we'll see. At least we've got a good subwoofer on this one. So I'm running pretty thin on subwoofers. What have we got? Yeah. All right. Such a good design, but also so stupid at the same time. It's just such the perfect example of what is the saying? We were so preoccupied with the fact that we could that we never asked if we should. That's HomePod. Okay.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble.
Nice. Alright, so we got that first one seemingly solved. We will test it overnight to make sure it's good to go. But now we've got Dan's other HomePod here that it's got no bass. This is usually what happens when that DC offset or death farts problem goes on for too long. It'll melt that subwoofer straight down and it won't work anymore. It'll basically sound like a tin can or an old transistor radio, as a lot of people would describe it. This is the annoying thing. They this new OS 17 update, I used to be able to just tap on it and it would immediately complain about no Wi-Fi connection. And it was nice because we wouldn't have to wait around to make sure that it produced good sound and everything was at least functional, granted connecting to a Wi-Fi network. So they updated it and now it tends to do this for a while. So it makes testing a lot more tedious. I'm just going to make sure that we've got any kind of sound from this. I just want to hear it, and from that we'll be able to tell pretty easily whether it's got bass or not. And I'm pretty sure Dan knows what he's talking about here. People usually know what they're talking about when they're sending these things in to get fixed, but we always double check the symptoms before we crack them open and start any work. Why did they change this up? I swear they watch our repairs, and they try to mess with us. They push updates to these things that make our repairs more difficult. But that's like totally cuckoo crazy conspiracy theory. No substantial, nothing to back that up. Come on. I just want you to say something. I want to hear the lack of bass. Like something. Come on. I just want to reproduce the issue. I don't want to deal with this. I'm just gonna go ahead and start taking it apart, because I'm not playing games. I'm not playing games tonight. We almost were playing games. You gonna talk to us? You gonna let me keep taking you apart? This is your last chance, kid. Speak up or hold your peace. That's it. I'm yanking it. I'm hooking up my logic board. I'm not waiting for it to play its games. Can't play the games if you don't have the if you don't have them installed yet, huh? I can tell just by looking at it already that our bass speaker is in perfectly good condition. And our issue is going to lie solely on the amplifier. I might be wrong, but typically when the bass speaker dies, it's got a nice dark spot in the middle of the dust cap here, showing that it was running really hot. Alright, so this is my logic board. It's factory reset already, so it's going to boot up and immediately play a sound for us, that setup tone, when it's telling you to bring your phone near to it to set it up. So we'll be able to immediately get some feedback and hear whether this thing actually has no bass or not. I don't know what the hell Apple's doing with their new software versions, but it's just becoming such a... There you go. Sounds like a tin can. Alright, we've reproduced the issue. We've definitely got no bass. Yeah, as I was saying, Apple seems to be just checking to see that the thing even works more difficult for no reason. So, let's get this apart a little more and see if we can't find out what's going on. Yeah, our bass speaker is in perfect condition. We're gonna get straight into that amplifier because obviously that's gonna be where our lack of bass is coming from. Alright, let's do some quick checks. Our main amplifier chip for the bass speaker looks to be in great shape. So is our resistor. I don't see any signs of the same problems that Dan's other HomePod was having. So we're gonna check for shorts in this area on the amplifier because that tends to be where problems show up that cause no bass. We're going to check our cap here first. That's ground. We expect to hear a beep from that. And we do not expect to hear a beep from that end. So we got pretty lucky. Our first try. Yep. Nope. This is the second culprit, but this one looks fine. This is dead. And this normally should not be giving continuity for us on or off the board. Luckily, we've got a few of these capacitors on hand. And we have specs for this capacitor under the common issues section for no bass up on our website if you're following along doing your own repair. So, here's our cap. It's definitely shorted dead. Capacitors normally shouldn't show continuity. So, we'll grab another one from our parts. Get a little bit of fresh solder on our board to make this a little easier. Let's see if that works and if it's got any other complaints. I wouldn't be surprised if it needs the same filters replaced, but I'm not going to also be surprised if they're perfectly fine. Most of these problems don't correlate with one another. Let's see what it's got. Hello? We must have not gotten a good enough connection on there. Let's try that again. Oh, I see it. I see what we did this. Right there. I don't know how, but we ended up bridging those pins on this little chip here, so let's go ahead and fix that. Oh boy. You're being stubborn. Oh, we're so close. Alright, you know what? Chew that up. Aha. This is gonna be it. It's gonna work. What's our offset? Oh, beautiful. 3 millivolts. Let's put this together and go to bed. I didn't even realize there were people watching. For a second there, I totally forgot I was even streaming. We were in complete autopilot mode. So, welcome. This will be the last one for tonight. We've still got more, but I am exhausted. Get our logic board reconnected. This is the brain. This is basically what tells all the other parts what to do. Without this, you can give everything power, it'll turn on, but you won't be able to tell. It's not going to do anything for you. It's kind of like giving voltage to a dead corpse. If you were to power one of these on without this board in particular. And this is the board that has the software that runs everything. So whenever a software update gets pushed, that's the only thing that's really affected. This part right here, this is just the display. This is what gives you the funny colors and touch input. Completely separate from your logic board down below. And, you got your display, you got your logic board, you have a power supply in there, and you have your amplifier board. So you've got, I would say, 6 main components to a HomePod, actually. Yeah, display, logic board, subwoofer, amplifier, power supply, enclosure. I can tell I'm getting tired because I'm doing things in older order of operation than we normally do. And I'm slowing down. I'm slowing down. I wanted to try to get the one other HomePod that's still waiting for repairs tonight, but we're barely making it through this last one here. We'll save that other one for tomorrow. Alright, Dan. Prepare to witness Nick's fix. That is, after Apple figures out how to develop an operating system. We'll give it just a few seconds. This is such a pain in the ass. Why did they change this? Just a simple tap. I can't connect to the internet right now. Try again later. That's never been a problem for anyone. And we had to change it. Now we gotta sit here and for who knows how long until it does something. Oh, good grief.
Your HomePod is about to reset. Keep pressing until you hear 3 beeps.
Hey,
I'm having trouble connecting.
she's awake and she
I'm having
sounds wonderful. She's got her bass back. We didn't get everything fixed up tonight, but everything that we looked at tonight, at least we got fixed up. We still got one more waiting, but we'll take care of that tomorrow. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.